In today's video, we're going to finish off the design that we started in the previous one. We have our wireframe set up for this nice design, and we're going to use Adobe Dimension and Adobe XD today to finish this off. Let's go ahead and get started with part 2. So here's the wireframe that we created in the last video. Before we make any changes, let's head over to Adobe Dimension to create our 3D image. Here in Dimension, I'm going to select the canvas and adjust that to the same size as our artboard, 1920 by 1080. For this particular design, we're going to take advantage of the models that Adobe Dimension gives us for free. So I'm going to drag out a square bottle, a coffee cup, and the round bottle as well. So we have 3 of those assets in our scene, and we'll just drag them so that we can access all of them. I'm going to select my environment. For the background, we're going to apply a black color to this. So I'm just going to paste in a color code of 29292B. And then I'm going to select all 3 of my model folders over here in the scene. And we're going to apply a matte color just to make them all the same color. And then we can expand one of these and grab the color. And since they're all linked together, we can apply that same color swatch. And so we have something that looks like this. Something I just figured out here in Adobe Dimension, each one of these models that Dimension gives us, we can manipulate the different elements of these. So we have the safety ring, the bottle, and the lid. So I'm just going to grab the lid of the bottle, and I'm just going to drag it up. And same thing with the safety ring, and put some spacing in between them. So it looks like the product is kind of expanding here. Then I'm going to select the bottle itself and rotate it to 90 degrees. And then we'll click this button right here to snap it to the ground. That way we don't have the bottle kind of floating or hanging in the ground there. I'm going to do the same thing with the square bottle, just grabbing the lid and that safety ring and just expanding them up on the Y-axis. And once again, grabbing the bottle and rotating it 90 degrees on any axis, it doesn't really matter, and snapping it to the ground. To build out my scene, I'm just going to grab one of the bottles and put them side by side and try to get a good camera angle that I think looks pretty good. And then for the coffee cup, we'll just leave it standing up just for some variety. We'll just drag it over here on the right and just position it somewhere like that. And I think this looks pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and render this. So I rendered that as a PNG, and now here in Adobe XD, I'm just going to drag that into our placeholder rectangle. So the first thing, now that we have our image in here, let's add the links to white for the color, just so that they stand out from the background. And then on this button, we're going to change the text to white, and then the background on this rectangle, we'll remove the border, and then we're going to drag it all the way to black so that it stands out from this nice matte black image. I'm also going to double click on my image and then flip it around just so that the coffee cup is kind of on the left side there. And I might scale it and just adjust the position so the coffee cup's not directly overlapping one of the links. So that looks pretty good. Let's add a black color to our logo, our heading, and our body text. So we'll just drag those just to straight 0000000. For the body font, we're going to drag the opacity down on that to about 70-60% range, just so it doesn't clash with our heading. And we'll do the same thing with our button. We're going to grab the text and change that to white. Same thing with the arrow icon. And then the button will go to straight black with the border being removed. Next up, let's go ahead and add some color details to this design to make it pop and a little bit more interesting. It's kind of plain at the moment. So I'm going to grab the rectangle tool, and I'm just going to drag out a rectangle here on the side. Next, I'm going to hold Shift and drag out another square. This time I'm going to make it a perfect square. And I'm going to make it half the width of this original rectangle. Then I'll hold Alt and drag over a duplicate of this rectangle and put it here in the left corner. And I'm just going to align this to our button so it kind of makes a more square. And then I'll hold the Alt and create a duplicate. And then we'll just adjust this one to maybe 1/3 of the width of this rectangle. And then we'll just shorten it a little bit. And then I'm going to duplicate that holding Alt and put one up here at the top and maybe make it a little bit more narrow for the width. For the colors, let's grab a nice purple color. So we'll drag that here in our color slider to a lighter shade, maybe a little bit more blue in it. Something like that. And then we'll grab a peachish red color. So we'll go into the reds and let's try a red purple. See what we can get with that. I think I might use some oranges, so we're going to go right around there. Maybe a little bit more color. And then we'll add a blue. So I'm going to grab the eyedropper and fill it with the peach color. And we'll just drag the color slider to a blue as a good base, and then we'll drag it a little bit brighter. And then we'll do a yellow and a green. So we'll just grab a yellow color. Nothing too bright, but nothing too orange, something like that. And then a green, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fill it with the blue, and then just drag the color slider to the green section, and then adjust from there. And I'm just going to make sure all the borders are turned off of these. And let's take a look at our design. So that was the end of part 2, creating this nice looking hero section with this 3D modeled image here on the side, kind of splitting up our design and adding these nice colorful shapes to it to make it look pretty nice. So that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe for more design and Adobe XD and Dimension related content. And as always, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.